Hey everyone, welcome back to another 31-minute solo podcast. I had a question yesterday. Someone said, actually Francesca, she said, where is Jordan on the podcast? So Jordan is around for sure. He's still just as much a part of everything, but he is focusing on real estate at the moment because he's incredibly busy. And I said, just focus on that. Don't be distracted with things and make sure you stay completely on track. So anyway, he's in a growth phase. So today, good morning, Jason.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. That's good. How are you today?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, had a big weekend?
No.
Yes, you did.
No, it wasn't massive.
You did, so
it was pretty.
Hiding in your room on Sunday playing video games is a big weekend.
I would have done that anyway. It's my day off.
I don't know about that. Nice to see you, Jack. So, what about this? See, life is a funny thing. And sometimes I look around and I'm like, gee, I'm over 50 now. I'm like 51 years old. That's wow. How did I even get here? But funny enough, now in this stage of life where I'm at, this window, I probably feel the best ever, not just because of what I'm doing, but because of the understanding that I have now, like the experience, the life that I've lived, things like that. And I feel more steady, more comfortable in myself. Whereas before I was just like, I don't know what I was doing. I was like, I know what I was doing. I was rushing to become something. And I was like trying to establish myself and go through all these different windows in life. And I was really like, I don't know, I wasn't comfortable in me before. I was very anxious and I know I've said that before, but I was. Whereas today, I look at things really differently. And time is this powerful vehicle that moves along regardless of anything in your life, regardless of what's going on, regardless of how much you want to stay in the same position and enjoy it. It pushes you to grow. So time's a funny thing. And it's whether you grow with it or not and design with it or not. And I look at all different people. Like I look at even people forward in their 60s and 70s and 80s, and there's some people that are really flourishing and other people that are declining. And I'm like, why does that happen? But I think you can only focus on now. Like the present is where the power is. That's what I've come to realize. The present is where the power is. What was before, like in your past, that, it's experience, it's perspective, lessons, all of that. And your future, if you focus on your future too much, it brings anxiety. It can bring excitement, but if you keep comparing it to where you are now, it can make you feel anxious and not quite complete, like not quite there, not settled. So you've got to have a delicate balance between enjoying the present and be excited about the future. So design your own life is today's topic. Design a life you love. Today is the morning, it's about 8 o'clock in the morning, and you've got this palette of time in front of you. So you've got this sort of 15 hours, 18 hours in front of you to do stuff with. And your enjoyment, remember, comes from the present. You can be excited about the future, but your enjoyment comes from now. Your power is in the moment of time now. So I'm like, okay, well, how do I want to spend it? Like, what do I want to do with this? Who do I want to become? What does it look like? And what does the optimum life feel like? Like, what is that? What is that? So abundance, if you listen to Bashar, is being able to do what you want to do when you want to do it. He doesn't mention money. And that's a really cool thing, because when you want to do something, there's a lot of freedom in that. But when you're doing things to get something, like you're doing something to get something, you get worn out after a while. But when you're doing something because you love it, you have unlimited energy. So imagine you could spend all day designing a life that you had unlimited energy from. And I think that's where you feel best. You don't feel best when you get something. So you might feel good when you get a new car or you buy a new house for a bit. But it's actually the process of getting it that's most enjoyable. So imagine from this point onwards, you sat back and you said, how do I want to spend my time? And you started to design a life that you genuinely love, where you can do what you want to do when you want to do it. That would be the perfect life, I'd say, because everybody's different. You know, I like ice bars at 4:30 in the morning. Jackson doesn't, but he loves sitting there playing half an hour of video games. I don't. So it's such an individual thing. That's why comparison is so dangerous, because when you're comparing yourself to other people, that's their life, not yours. So if you got really truthful with yourself and said, how do I want to spend my day today? How do I want to spend it? And you can't make all the changes you want now. So if you look at my early part of my career, I didn't have the help that I did today. I have a phenomenal team with me today. Jordan, Ash, Trev, Charlie, Lisa, Ryan. So all these people around me, plus a company that's relatively large for what it is, like relatively, but I spent a long time building this. So time leverage might come from the right people helping you. So I can do more things that you want to do. It doesn't mean I don't like work. I actually really like work, but you've got to do something that you like doing. If you don't, I'd suggest you start thinking about it. Start thinking about, because let me talk about the breakdown of my day. So the morning routine, Jackson, I saw a thing by Alex Hormozi the other day. I just didn't agree with it.
What did it say?
It said some of these people that do morning routines, and don't get me wrong, I like Alex Hormozi. He's very successful. I like him. He's real. Calls it as it is. So no criticism here. I watch all of his stuff. But he said the people that do these morning routines, if they don't do it one morning, it's like someone's kicked the stick out from under them and they whinge and complain and aren't the same. And he said, that's ridiculous. Like, literally just keep working. And I just don't agree.
Mm. So if your morning routine wasn't perfect, it wouldn't bother you?
Well, think about what a morning routine is. And just this morning I was thinking about this exact thing. It's owning a space of time to control your energy signature for the day. That's what I see it as. Mm. So, I watched an American, we're digressing here for a minute, but I watched an American Idol yesterday, auditions. I love them because they're raw and they're there, and it's like you get to see all this talent, in the moment. And one girl sung, she was 16, she tried out 5 times already. No, she's 20, sorry. She tried out 5 times already and she couldn't get in. And she got in this time, and she was standing up singing in front of Lionel Richie, Katy Perry and Luke, can't remember his last name, the country guy, like him a lot. And amazing song, but Katy Perry said something that was really interesting. She said, you're a great singer, you're like a diamond in the rough, but you're not very rehearsed. I was like, how interesting. Not very rehearsed. So like practicing and practicing. Then I was watching another singer in the night. I watch a lot of singers on TikTok.
It sounds like it.
I was watching another singer, and she was in front of like a whole audience of maybe 3,000 or something, but it was like, I'll see if I can find it, this type of song. This is important. So I'll see if I can find it for you. That one, favourites. Love the favourites. Let me go down a little bit and just...
Good singer.
And she goes like, some of the notes at the end, if I can get to the end.
Very good.
It's very good, right? It's a Celine Dion song. But that lady, I was watching her thinking to myself, I wonder how many times she rehearsed that.
A lot, I'd say.
So you got to perform that night, and she gets on the stage, and your energy in that moment, you got to put yourself in the zone. I can't sing like that, but when you speak, same thing. But it's like she's had to stand there, and I'm like, she's had to warm up. She's had to get the. I was like thinking about her vocal cords when you're in there, like punching out these massive notes, and it's an amazing song. And I'm thinking, if she'd just come from eating Doritos at home, sitting there playing Fortnite, and then just wandered over to the stage and just sung, would it be as good as that?
No, definitely not.
No. And that's how I see the morning routine. It warms your energy signature up. It creates your energy set point for the day. And I think it's probably one of the most important things. You know, when you get in there and you rush into work, sure, you can work more. But if you don't have the right energy position, your results aren't the same. Opportunities aren't the same. Your results aren't the same. If you're tired, if you're rushed, all these things. So, Alex, I just don't agree with you on that one. Yeah,
Interesting.
I think your morning routine is one of the most important things to get the motor running. And you've got to design it at what you can do at that point in time. Like I've said before, you might be able to just do a bit of breathing, or you might. So I'll talk through mine. It takes 2 hours to do mine.
Yeah, I know. That's why we're late today, isn't it?
Yeah, no, Tara had to go to Michael's. But it takes 2 hours to do mine. But this is a process over a long period of time where I slowly adjusted my days. So I make sure I go to bed on time, and then I wake up early. And you know, this morning, Jack, the first thing I do when I wake up is I feel where my energy is. And I know it sounds weird, but I do. If I feel even a bit tired, I'll go back to sleep for 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I just let myself wake up. I never use an alarm clock because your body's not ready to wake up. So this morning I woke up, had a bit of a feel around, like opened my eyes, had a bit of a feel around. I don't mean feeling myself. I mean feel around energetically. And I'm like, nah, I'm not quite there. So I just went back to sleep. Got up, walked out, had my usual thing, walk out, hydrate myself, look at my phone clock, so I leave it in the kitchen now, 5:34. I reckon I woke up at 4:30 before, like just naturally, but I wasn't quite ready. I hadn't clicked in properly. So 5:34, then I'm like, all right, what do I do this morning? Like I do my breathing, then I do my ice bath, then I do half an hour red light bed. We had a podcast today, so I didn't do cardio. But I don't mind if I do cardio or not because I work out this afternoon. It's a thing that can be a bit flexible. And then I do all of my thing. Tommy's got this new juice for me. It's amazing.
What juice?
So I got this non-surgical facelift the other day. Non-surgical. I just wanted to try it because the lines next to my face, I used to couldn't stand my dad's ones. And I'm like, I just don't want to have those lines like that. I've got them and that's just the way that it is. So I went to, I've had fillers twice in my cheekbones up here. But a few years ago, because I was just trying to like iron these lines out. I don't care about the rest. Never had Botox, even though people always write on these things, TRT and Botox. That's all they ever write on the TikTok comments. It's like, how many posts do you have to do to say, yes, I take testosterone? And it's like, do you have to say it every video so they stop writing it? I don't know. It's like, but I got this non-surgical facelift, and I'm just one of those people that if I find something that's interesting, I've got to try it. Like I have to. It was like with drugs. I just had to try all the different things, and I liked some and didn't like some. And so it's like this laser thing, this ultrasound laser, pretty painful. And you sort of like, it's like getting a tattoo removed, I guess, and it's supposed to tighten your skin up on this side. And then they put like a filler, like a calcium filler. It's like a newer one that dissolves in 3 months. They put that in your cheeks. So it's meant to puff them up a bit. I reckon I looked worse.
You think?
I reckon I looked like swollen face. Like, I don't know, I didn't like it. And I reckon it made my skin a bit duller. So I said to Tommy, sorry, mate, like, I've got to be honest, I went and got this thing. I didn't tell him before because I knew he would have talked me out of it.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to try it. And then he goes, mate, no worries. He doesn't talk like that. He has his Persian accent. He goes, I can't do Persian accents. It's like, he goes, mate, no worries. And he's told me spent a day researching it, and then he came back, says, drink this for a week and it'll be gone. Your skin will be back to how it was. So true. 7 days. He goes, by Saturday you'll be glowing. I don't know if I glow, but for myself, like it's your own standard sort of thing. So anyway, I've been drinking that for like about 2 weeks now. I said, Tommy, can I just stay on this juice? I just love it that much. It's the best, and you can feel it doing something. But it took out, it's sort of lessened the filler thing. I'll never get fillers again, ever. I just think I don't know, it just doesn't suit me. I don't want to look like one of those guys when he's 70, like goes, oh my goodness, look at your face. Yeah. It's probably half like that now. But it's anyway, so why did I even start talking about that? Oh yeah, so I have Tommy's juice. I make that in the bathroom, but Tara had to go see Michael this morning, so I help her every morning with Summer. Make sure she's right, she can shower, she can do all that. She wants to shake or breakfast, so do that for her as well. And then off she goes and we do our podcast. Yep, and that's the start of the day. But I like working. I really like working. I like working on the 31-minute stuff, and I like working at work. So at work, my ideal day would probably be between, like I'm on the phone all the time, so it's not like I can get away from real estate, but I like being mobile. So 9 o'clock to about 12 at the office, and then 12 till about 3. I do appointments then if I'm not at the office. So 9 till 3-ish, appointments. That's what I like to do. But I do really targeted appointments these days. People want to sell their house. They want to buy a property. It's not like years ago where you had to see heaps of people just to try and meet somebody that wants to do something, so to build it up. And then from 3, I train. And then I'm home by about 5:36. And then it's the nighttime routine, the wind down routine. So sometimes I have dinner first with Tara, or if she's doing other stuff, then I'll do my sauna, sometimes 1 sauna, 2 saunas, ice bath in between, and then hang out with her for half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever. We both get tired and we go to bed. 8:30. That's my ideal life, believe it or not. That is my ideal life. Like, I know some people like traveling and some people like things. Tara does. And I'm like, oh, if I travel, can't do my morning and night routine. That's how much I love it. So abundance to myself, abundance for myself is having this awesome day that has a brilliant rhythm to it, where your energy's protected, your energy's uplifted, your nutrition is amazing. Like, I put appointments in to eat breakfast, to eat lunch, and to eat at night. There's set appointments in the day. Everyone knows in the office that I eat at home at about 12:30, and then I'm back out by 1:15 to the next appointment. But I make that appointment. So why wouldn't you do that? If gut health is important to you, and optimum health, you've got to eat right. Without nutrition, forget about the whole thing. Because you can do all the cardio you want. If you eat like rubbish, you're not going to benefit very much from it at all. So that's how serious I am about this time management thing. And I think designing a life you love is about owning your time. It really is. So you might be working a job where you don't have the same flexibility, but you've got to remember I spent more than 2 decades creating that. So you could start today and say, look, well, the mornings I can own. This is what I'm going to do, and this is how I'm going to spend it. You might exercise, you might do whatever, and then I'm going to do amazing meal prep. So if you've got a job where you have to be there all day, and you might say between 12 and 12:45, I'm actually going to take lunch. Like, I'm going to sit in my car, and I'm going to have great meal prep, and I'm going to eat then. I have a shake at 10:30, and I have a shake at 3 or 3:30, and then... So my day has this eating rhythm to it. My day has this energy rhythm to it, has this work rhythm to it, has this exercise rhythm. How good can it be? How much better can you get? For me, anyway. So where in there did I mention money?
Not once.
Not once. It's like, not once. But I get excited about getting new carrots from... I do. I get excited about getting new carrots, or I get excited about... mushrooms, that we're gonna, it's a new supply of that. Money is very important, but the funny thing is, the better you feel, the better you get at what you do, the more energy that you have, the more money that comes too.
It's pretty interesting.
I think so. Jackson's like, I'm so bored.
No, it's serious.
Yeah, so wealth is important to me, and I like it, but it only allows you to do things as well. Like, I don't see it as a vehicle to... When the people say money doesn't make you happy, I think it's a portion of it. I think it's a part of happiness, because if you can buy things and you can do things that you need to do, and you can go places you need to go and things like that, it brings a bit of peace of mind. So designing a life you love, this is more of a question for everybody, is what does your life look like? What if you could design a day where you just love it, what does that look like? I'm going to tell you something else Bashar said recently, which I think is really interesting. Your experience in life is nothing more than a reflection of your deepest beliefs.
Wow.
It's nothing more than a reflection of your deepest beliefs. So you might think the only way I'm going to be successful is to work 20 hours a day. That's what might be in your thing because you've looked at other people, and that might be partly true as well. But what if you could be just as successful, work less but more targeted, have great people around you, and be as healthy as you've ever been in life as well? Some people think if I increase my results at work, the rest of my life is going to go down. I'm not going to be as healthy, my marriage will fall apart, things like this. That's a belief. I'm actually at the stage now, and I think that's the beauty of the age that I'm at right now. I really understand that this world is nothing more than a reflection of what I really, really want to do. And how do you do it? Like, what do I believe is going to happen? So I want to work really targeted. I want to feel phenomenal every day. I want to have abundance in wealth that's enough just to do what you want to do. Personal life amazing, and then have this momentum to my days that I become unstoppable. That's the life that I love. You know, I don't need to travel around the world all the time, but that might be somebody else's passion as well, and that's good. But how are you going to get there? So today, what does that look like for you if you were? And I really want you to think about it more than anything. What does that life look like if you were to design a life that you really love? What does your personal life look like? What does your wealth position look like? What does your work look like? What does your nutrition look like? What does your energy look like? What does your body look like? How is that? And then your day has to take care of all of those things in a way that you love. And I think that's what it's about. It's not one day I'll have a life that I love. Designing a life you absolutely enjoy is in the day. So if your day has all these segments of filling the tank in different areas, and you did that over time, you would end up with a life that not just you loved, that others would look at and say, how do I do that? And you say, well, let me tell you how I started. I made a few different choices each day, and I stuck to them, and I made my life work around them. Because there's a great saying about time management. If you don't own your time, everybody else will. I'm just really, I'm really firm with how I control my time now. Sometimes you've got to say no. Sometimes you can't, and a hard no is better than an easy yes. Sometimes you've got to say no, that doesn't suit me because I've got bigger things in mind over here. And if I say yes to this, it's going to take away from my momentum, my daily momentum to the target that I've set down the track. Every target will come if you own your time, which is one step towards it. Everyone will come. But you've just got to value it more than anything. So what's the life that you want to design, that you'll absolutely love it? How are you going to spend each day? What are you going to learn to say no to rather than yes? And then are you willing to be so consistent that one day your life will be so good, you'll turn around and you'll go, I just can't believe I'm living this amazing life.